Yep, I won. Welcome to Speak for Yourself, Marcellus Wiley, looking better than...
You want what? You want being the loudest in the building? That's the only thing you don't want.
First of all,
I don't know what you talking about.
I just cut my hair. Did you?
Looking like Toby. You know Toby is on your boy on IG.
Not Toby, the other one.
Let's get it started right now.
They gonna know that. Out west, what's up, boy? Suns, come on out here and let's go up 3-0. No way! It's my Clippers tonight. We know how this series is gonna turn out. Looks like more help is on the way. Chris Paul is officially available to return after clearing the league's health and safety protocols. Okay. But the Suns did not miss a beat in Game 2 with Cameron Payne scoring a high 29 points. Damn, Acho, looking less than me. Does Chris Paul's return actually make the Suns worse, like your outfit?
Bruh, that's the fourth. You got 4 jabs in before
you know I'm already struggling because I'm scared tonight.
My dog got four body blows in before we even got going. Before we even came on camera. What's wrong with you, Sal? No. Chris Paul does not make the Suns worse. I'm glad we're doing this topic.
Me too.
Because you made this argument all week long.
So clear and concise
all week
as
long,
well.
You were telling me, in all honesty, man, I can't wait for Chris Paul to get back. Because once Chris Paul gets back, they're not going to get into the paint. Chris Paul, you shoot them elbow jumpers, but that's actually what we like as Clipper fans. We want you at the elbow. We don't want you in the paint. Close quote.
Are you wet snitching or dry snitching? Because, I mean, damn, it's coming out. Receipts. You ain't the homie.
Here's the thing, though, Sal. You can't add a top 5 point guard currently in his playoff prime and expect the team to get worse.
I hear you.
And that is the deductive reasoning that many have who assume that somehow Chris Paul is going to make the Suns worse. I get it. Cam Payne gave you 29-9 and no turnovers last game. That's phenomenal. But the issue with Chris Paul, when he arrives, he makes everybody better.
Yeah.
See, thus far, Cam Payne has made the Suns better by his play. But Chris Paul actually not only makes himself better and the Suns better, he makes everybody better. But also, I think this whole thought that the Suns get worse by Chris Paul showing back up, it is the most glaring issue we have with recency bias. It's the most glaring issue we have with out of sight, out of mind. The last time we saw Chris Paul, he gave you 37 points to only 2 turnovers in a closeout game. That's the last time we saw CP3. So I understand Cam Payne has been playing well. He's been playing very well. But the Suns with Chris Paul will get a whole lot better.
Oh, man. That's all? Oh, I guess you want me to go dive on the deep end because you know it's choppy waters whenever you say a team is going to play worse with their arguably best player.
Yes, facts.
I don't think he's better than Devin Booker, but in terms of what his impact has been, he's their most valuable player.
Yes, sir.
This was a non-playoff team before Chris Paul. Chris Paul shows up as the court general. Chris Paul, the great, all of a sudden they're over that hump. And boy, are they over that hump. Let me just start off by saying this is not a hot take. I like Chris Paul. I actually know Chris Paul. I respect Chris Paul. Chris Paul's top 20 all-time, 30, he gonna get in that world? We'll see. But his arrival is not gonna make them worse as individuals. It was the fact that his departure made them have to look inside themselves and be better. Catch the difference? Here's the difference. It's an addition by subtraction kind of formula, but it's the psychology. You and I both have played before. We both have been backups as well. And when the starter goes down, the headlines go one way. Oh, we in trouble. But you know what we're thinking as backups. It's time. Cameron Payne knew it was time. Devin Booker in the hybrid role knew it was time. Let's talk about just some stats so I don't sound so hot-takey. The efficiency of this team went up without Chris Paul. To the point of Game 1, they had their highest field goal percentage of the postseason. Coincidence? I think not. Let's talk about Cam Payne without Chris Paul has a career high in points. You think that's a coincidence? I think not. Let me hit you with a full screen about CP3 and me. With CP3 and without CP3. We're going to take our time on this one so I don't sound hot-taking. I ain't that dude. Kwame Brown, leave me alone. Here's the thing. With CP3, they have lost 2 games. Look, they're 8-2, so let's not slight the team. They're 80% win percentage. But without CP3, them suckers don't lose at all. 2 game sample size, I respect that. Points per game, you would expect them to go down. There's an uptick. Interesting. Field goal percentage, you expect that to go down because Chris Paul is money from the elbow. That goes up. Let's talk about turnovers per game. That's where Chris Paul really shines. Court general, making sure the ball's in the right place and taking care of the ball. Why are they better without Chris Paul? I'm telling you, dog, I've been in this position before. When Bruce Smith went down, Oh, that's how Marcellus Wiley became something. Got that money. So this is a situation where I saw all these other players activate themselves in the departure of Chris Paul. We'll see how it plays when he comes back, but I think it's going to be worse.
Here's the issue with your logic, Sel. Is this, well, first off, you spoke to something that's true. I'm just going to exacerbate it. Okay. You said a 2-game sample size. Giannis is 2 for 2 in his last 2 free throws. Giannis is not a 100% free throw shooter. We have to look beyond a sample size of 2
is a moment,
to really,
not a 48-minute game,
calibrate.
2 times over.
2 times is still just 2 times.
Okay.
Furthermore, let's personalize this for you. Y'all won 2 games against the Utah Jazz without Kawhi Leonard. Without Kawhi Leonard, Terrence Mann looked inside himself, and he saw 39 points. But then he looked again, and he only saw 9 points the next game, and 8 points a game after that.
Oh, you saying
so
that?
You can keep looking inside yourself, but eventually what you see is going to change. You can go revert back to exactly who you are. You would never utter that the Clippers are a better team without Kawhi Leonard, albeit they closed out the Jazz without Kawhi Leonard, albeit they also won 2 games without Kawhi Leonard, albeit they had, as I see it, their playoff high in points without Kawhi Leonard. But neither you nor I would make the mistake of thinking that the Clippers are a better team without Kawhi Leonard. Yes, Terrence Mann looked inside himself and liked what he saw along with you, but that does not make them the better team. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, they play better when Chris Paul is on the court. The team collectively plays better when Chris Paul is on the court.
Oh, who you say?
I said Devin Booker. I said DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, you think I only got 1 full screen?
With all that being said,
it's worse.
They still balled. Devin Booker still gave you 40 game 1 and he gave you 20 game 2.
Don't clean it up
But we're not going to act like we didn't see what Devin Booker was doing
we gonna act like that
with Chris Paul present.
Yes.
Chris Paul may make campaign worse, but you can make one individual worse if you make the other 4 better.
Facts.
Especially if that individual is your backup. It really comes down to this, Sel. Chris Paul right now, what do you have? He had a game with 15 assists and no turnovers. Top 3 of his career.
Yeah, sure.
He had a game with 37 points. Most points for a player of his age or older, or second most points of a player of his age or older.
I don't give a damn how old he is.
What matters is this.
What?
Chris Paul is playing the best postseason basketball of his top 5 point guard history life.
Well,
and you telling me
tell you about the past?
Did he better make them worse?
Hey, we doing a show too well together, because, boy, everything you throw at me on Monday, it's coming back at your head on Thursday. I remember that point you said, well, you're going to reward him because he was bad before. Chris Paul's never been bad in the playoffs.
Never.
He just always gets hurt. True. And, I hate to see those playoff woes return, the dominoes fall. Because once a Clipper, always a Clipper. And thank you, Chris Paul, for returning from Corona, because now you're going to do the most Clipper thing you can do. Help my Clippers. That's what he's going to do. Let's talk about this. The season series against the Phoenix Suns with Chris Paul. Who won that? Clippers, 2-1. Clippers, 1-2, lost 1. Let's talk about right now. Series in the postseason against the same Phoenix team, but without Chris Paul. 0-2, my Clippers. Okay, you keep saying this is a logic argument and my logic is flawed.
Yes, sir.
These numbers ain't flawed, and I'm going to keep hitting you with these numbers. Let's talk about the fact that Rondo and Patrick Beverley were not designed at their age, you want to bring up age, at this moment in time to deal with Devin Booker and Cam Payne and his 26-year young self. We weren't designed for that. Chris Paul? 1, we have the experience, the familiarity with him, but 2, he ain't turning that corner like that. You don't hear them tires go, you just think, he's smooth when he turned the corner. He ain't turning the corner like Cam Payne. But this is where you dug your ditch. And I hate to take you to Inglewood Park Cemetery, but that's where my family is buried. And I'm going to take one of my own brothers and bury him too. Because you're talking about Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton don't get better without CP3. I think I have a full screen. And in this full screen, look at these rising suns. Damn it, I hate to do this to people, but this is how it's done. Devin Booker, what you doing without CP3 getting better? Oh, DeAndre Ayton, I already knew you were good, but you got better without CP3? Now, Cam Payne, get out. We already know you're going to get better, but damn, you double up? Oh, show Acho's face right now, because there's a little crow on your mustache right there, a little crow right there. Hey, man, I've been here before. On the surface, it looks like, oh, my God, what are we going to do about this void, this dip? That divot is getting filled, brother, somehow, some way, by a collection of people giving more effort.
I respect it. I'm just now waking up at 12:09 into the show. He got me. He grazed me on the chin. He got me. I went to the corner.
No.
They put some ice on my head.
Mayweather Joe butt.
Nah, they
Logan Paul, I'm going to hold you up.
They put some ice on my head real quick.
I'm going to hold you up, Acho. We got to make this money.
Real quick with the Vaseline. And they said, hey, wash your right, wash his right, watch his right, watch his right. Okay, ding, 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 ding. We going to glove up. Let me come back in. Look, Sel.
What?
When you are not at work, I have to speak more. Ooh. I have to read all the scripts. Ooh. The A block, which is for y'all that don't know TV talk, the top of the show after our first commercial break. I bring us in after commercial.
Facts.
I have to do all the work. Just because I do more does not mean the show got better. Ooh. I told you, they in my corner. They was in my corner. They got me right. Just because I have to do more doesn't mean the show's better. Yeah. When you come back, I don't talk as much. Okay. I definitely don't go to break nearly as much.
You don't talk as much?
I don't have to do nearly as much when you back. Okay. But the show actually gets better. So although I'm now doing less, the show gets better because you make me better and hopefully vice versa.
You know that.
So albeit, when you gone, I got to do more. Acho got to speak more. Acho got to go to break more. We can bring in a full screen of Slick Rick Bucher, Steven Jackson, Bucky Brooks. They will speak more as well when you're not here, but the show's not better. So let's not mistake doing more, scoring more points with being better collectively. Because, of course, Devin Booker going to score more. Got to pick up the slack. Ayton going to score more. Got to pick up the slack. Campaign as a backup going to score more. Got to pick up the slack. But let's not mistake doing more for collectively being better.
Okay. Woo, you had to get that one off your chest, huh?
Had to.
You know what's so funny? In games when you're down, and you've been there before, we're not boxers, but we certainly can use that as example. But when you're down, you got to punch your way. You got to play your way back to just level. Like, all right, I caught up. We were down 20. We got back. And then you always watch that announcer, somebody like Marv Albert or something, say, they used up all their gas just to get back. And you use up all your gas to get back. Now I'm going to go like this. Yeah, shut your head down, boy. Let me give you one, though. Rope-a-dope a little bit. Tonight is a must-win for us. If we don't win tonight, it's wrap. I mean, nobody comes back from down 0-3. Let's be real about that. But here's another line for you. I'm sorry, Acho. Square up. Here we go. In outcome, the Phoenix Suns can't get better with Chris Paul.
Fair.
They're 2-0. So in outcome, America, they won't get better.
You're on that one.
The only way they can get better is in performance, and the only way to measure that is in point differential, I guess. Right now, they're 7-up on my Clippers in terms of the 2 games and the win spread. So that's what you guys are really seeking right now? A higher point differential? Beat them by 10 plus, 20 plus. Be careful, because that could be greed, trying to chase more points and don't necessarily serve the better outcome. Here's my last point. I know I'm supposed to go to tease. It felt like a tease. It ain't a tease. I got to keep going on this. It feels too hot-takey for me to be saying this, but it's facts. CP3 is that dude, and CP3 is a tremendous leader, but he also barks. Think about it. You ever walk into a room when you know you ain't got the stripes yet? That guy got the stripes. You defer. You show reverence. That's what these guys have been doing. Respect to Chris Paul. He's integrated perfectly with this team. But he doesn't know how much of these guys in the 50-50 situations always defer. When he's gone, when he's departed, those guys assert themselves. The numbers support it. Hopefully tonight, they go back to where they were. Coming up, Lip City, Chip City. And Steve Kerr says Kevin Durant's more gifted than Michael Jordan. Hold on, I got to read that again. Steve Kerr says Kevin Durant's more gifted than Michael Jordan. Ooh, Acho, this is going to be 0 for 2 for you. We'll tell you if we agree. That's next. Don't speak for yourself. Saturday is a powerhouse showdown at Dodger Stadium as Chris Bryant leads the Cubs against Mookie Betts and the world champs. Plus, it's one of the greatest rivalries in sports as the Yankees take on the Red Sox. Saturday, 7 Eastern, only on Fox. Check local listings for the game in your area. It's time for a rewarding performance brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Y'all see what I'm doing up here? Trae Young showed up big in prime time last night with a career playoff high 48 points to lead his Hawks to the Game 1 win over the Bucks. Ice Trae put on a show with a fake and a shimmy before hitting the three-pointer. Boy, stop. His performance prompted The Athletic to write, quote, if there was any doubt before Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Young is a superstar. Slick Rick is back, but Acho, has Trae Young reached superstar status?
Of course, my dog, Ice Cold Trae, has reached superstar status. Now, look, fellas, look, ladies, look, gentlemen. When it comes down to superstar status, you look at diagrams, and then you look at the Venn diagram. You got some guys who ball in the regular season, some guys who ball in the postseason, some guys who ball collectively. Let's talk football first. Ball in the regular season, Matthew Stafford. Ball in the postseason, Eli Manning. Ball all together, you got Peyton Manning, you got Tom Brady. Let's talk basketball. Ball in the regular season, Luka Doncic. Ball in the postseason, Kawhi Leonard. Ball collectively, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry. Trae Young right now, he doesn't fall in the Venn diagram that covers every single circle. He falls in the Venn diagram that covers balling in the postseason. But we have always reckoned with the aspect that if you ball in the postseason, you are still a superstar. Now, here's what I know about Trae Young. He was found innocent of being an all-star this past season. He was not convicted. He was found innocent. But when you try him again, although you can't try someone of the same thing due to double jeopardy, so when you try him of being a superstar, he's going to have to get convicted. Because when you look at Trae Young being a superstar of players to score 48 points or more in a conference finals or later, you got Magic Johnson, superstar. You got LeBron James, superstar. You got Trae Young, superstar. When you talk about players to have 48 points and 10 assists in a conference finals or later, you got Jerry West, superstar, oh, and the logo. When you talk about players to have 13 games in the playoffs with 30 points and 10 assists, you got Oscar Robertson, superstar, legend. You got Luka Doncic, superstar. So although Trae Young was found innocent of being an all-star, I'm trying him again of being a superstar, and there is ample evidence to convict him as guilty of being a superstar.
I am not giving out the superstar status that easily.
Yes.
I was so with you in the last segment, and I am so not with you in this segment. Look, I've said it before. You've heard me say it. Stars get their numbers. Superstars get their numbers, and they get other guys' numbers. What Trae Young is not a superstar. He is a superstar entertainer. And can we just, I wasn't planning on doing this. Can we get the video, the little highlight video that we just showed of Trae Young against the Bucks from Game 1? Can we just play that one more time and take a look at what the Bucks were, or more importantly, were not doing when they were playing? Let's see how to, oh, look at that. Oh, is anybody guarding him on that shot? We're not going to, we're just, oh, go ahead. Just load that up. Trae, go ahead and take that shot. That requires superstar status to be able to ultimately get that done.
Crossed him out the screen.
Look, we didn't want to utilize. Oh, come on, we didn't. That's Drew Holiday, first team all defense, taking a play off, and Trae Young took advantage. That's what that is. No, I'm going to go by the baseline past Pat Connaughton. Congratulations, superstar. Never seen that done before.
Wow.
Look,
y'all crazy.
When I look at the deeper numbers in terms of not just the offensive numbers, but the numbers that reflect being a two-way player, a complete player, which is one of the definitions or one of the hallmarks for me of a superstar player, Trae Young falls down in those. When you get to PER, I'm just talking about players in the playoffs right now. PER, he's 11th. Win shares, he's 17th. Box plus minus, he's 8th. Now, I know for the average fan, those are analytical numbers that they're not the same as assists, rebounds, and points. Take my word for it. These are the numbers that reflect your overall impact on your team in the game. So my question, getting back to my first statement, is Trae Young doing what he's doing because John Collins and Clint Capella and Kevin Huerter and the pieces around him allow him to be the offensive weapon that he is? Or is he allowing John Collins and Clint Capella and Kevin Huerter and all those other pieces to do what they are doing? I'm not sure at this point. I need to see more. But until I do, I cannot put Trae Young in the superstar category.
I'm with you, Slick, man. Look, I was with them until they said that last word, superstar? Woo! Woo! I mean, look, Acho, Slick, Acho, you're still super single, but Slick, you used to be super single. We used to walk around, man, back in my super single days, we used to say, man, she is beautiful. She is so fine. She is a 10. And then we started to realize you shouldn't say that, man, for many reasons, but also because she ain't a 10. You ever been to Brazil? I have. Okay, it redefines what you think a 10 is. Let me get going back on record. Lupe Fiasco already defined what a superstar is. If you are what you say you are, did you improve on the design? Did you do something new? Ooh, Trae Young, have you improved on the design? Have you done something new? Last time I checked, I don't think so. Let's compare him against other superstars and just see where he ranks. 42.2 field goal percentage in these playoffs. You know that's worse than Giannis, KD,
Superstar.
Jokic, Luka,
Superstar.
Booker, Bron, Kyrie, Harden,
Superstar.
Lillard, Mitchell, PG. That's my point. He's worse than all them. So now he's an emerging star trying to become a superstar. But then I got to cut you, Acho, because you brought up Luka. Talking about Luka's a regular season great player, but postseason, nah. Luka elevated his play in the 2021 playoffs, averaging more points, assists, shooting a higher percentage from both the field and three-point percentage. So clarify that one right now. But when we think about superstars, we don't think about a guy shooting 21% from the field in Game 7 versus the 76ers and getting bailed out by Red Velvet. Do we? Nope. Kevin Huerter. Nope, we don't think that. Do we also think about a superstar who gets paid? Respect to him, I ain't got no shoe deal. $1.8 million annually by Adidas for his shoe deal. Here we go again. This is what the superstars get. LeBron, 32. KD, 28. Steph, 20. Harden, 14. Zion, 12. Zion, 12? Giannis, 12. Westbrook, 11. Kyrie, 11. D. Rose, 11. Lillard, 10. Clay, 8. I stopped going because now we're going to lose superstar status, and we ain't got to him yet. He's done some commercials, but Acho got more commercials than him. So here's the thing. You ain't no superstar, Acho. You know what kind of star you are, Acho? You that snap finger star. That's what they call them. Because when people walk up to you, they're like, hey, ain't you? Where I know you from. That's who Trae Young is right now, if you even stop at all. Because some people think he just like, well, that Matt Barnes? No, he ain't that short. So here's the point. He ain't no superstar just yet. He coming. Oh, is he coming? But right now, this moment in time, June 24th, boy, stop.
He a snap finger star?
Yeah, ain't you? They do that to me all the time. I'm a D-lister. I know it.
Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. If Trae Young's superstar status, it just has not been caught up to yet by some of the accolades you refer to, shoe deals, etc. Come on, Sel, let's not do that. But what we got to do is this.
What?
We have to reset the market of what is a superstar. Kelly Clarkson is an A-list celebrity. Taylor Swift is an A-list celebrity, but you cannot compare Kelly Clarkson to Taylor Swift. The Taylor Swifts and the Beyoncés of the world have to be thrown out of the calibration of A-list. LeBron James and Steph Curry, have to be thrown out of the calibration of what is superstar, along with Kevin Durant. They have transcended superstars to becoming icons because Kevin Durant, LeBron James, they are not the same as Russell Westbrook and James Harden.
Here we go with this
We don't have to. No, we don't have to recalibrate just because you're recalibrating.
Right. Kick him out of superstar. That's how we do it.
Here's the issue, Slick. If Luka is a superstar, then Trae Young is a superstar. Because what Luka has accomplished in the regular season, being first-team All-NBA, Luka would have accomplished in the postseason. Because what Luka has accomplished in the regular season, being first-team All-NBA twice, Trae Young has accomplished in the postseason. If you wanted to be who would be All-NBA right now, the guy averaging 30 points and 10 assists, just because he's just now arrived, Sal, does not mean he is not a superstar. He is shooting star. Just make sure you catch it as it goes by. Speaking of Trae Young,
it ain't gonna last.
Bucks Hawks Eastern Conference Finals Game 3 is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. Download the app and answer 6 questions about Sunday's game for your shot to win $1,000. Coming up, Lamar Jackson is in line for a big extension. And the negotiator could be his mom? We'll tell you if that's a good idea. Next, speak for yourself.
Trae ain't no superstar.
Lamar Jackson is reportedly using his mom in the negotiations for his long-term deal. Now, Lamar does not have an agent, and his mom has been his business manager since before he was drafted. But the news is raising eyebrows, according to reports, because, quote, if you lock yourself into a bad deal, you could cost yourself tens of millions of dollars. So, Sal,
Yes.
you've signed a lot of contracts, some bigger than others, but all bigger than mine. Is it a good idea for Lamar's mom to negotiate his contract extension?
Yeah, it's a damn good idea if she's a good agent, and so far, so good, right? I'd rather have my mama negotiate my contract than my homeboy. And last time I checked, Rich Paul's a damn good agent, if not the best agent, and that's LeBron's homeboy. See how they act? Relationships. What's Rich Paul? That's just his friend. He used to sell T-shirts out the trunk. He can never be Rich Paul. Oh, yes, he can. Mama can, too. It's because some of Mama's cooking on this, on this contract. Shout out. Kwame, here we go. The pushback is just status quo pushback. You know, the agents, they're comfortable the way it is, and their standard operating fees, and how dare you let your mother do this, because they know what happens. The domino's gonna start to fall. Everybody got a mama. And look at the NFL in terms of demographics. They only know their mama, most of them. So guess what? Mama gonna be negotiating a lot of contracts. This is the system pushing back. This is systemic haterism, as I want to call it, for all you racial pontificators out there. Richard Sherman negotiating his own contract. Stanford Compton, shout out to the smart, intelligent acumen of Richard Sherman. People laughed at him when he did it, too. I remember. Who laughed last? Richard Sherman. This is so easy to do nowadays. One, if you make a lot of money, you're not doing a standard agent fee. You're getting them down at a reduced price because you're making too much money. After that, all you got to do is Google what a good contract is. And then Spot Rack is going to say, here it is. And then you cut and paste the hell out of that. Then, this is the smart part, you got your contract basically in skeleton and bones. You go to a real lawyer. Hey, $500 an hour. You got 1 day, boy. That's 4 G's. That's it. And if I walk in and I say, here's the contract, $40 million plus, right? MJ, if the contract ain't starting at $40 million, my 5-year-old boy like, nah, dog, we ain't doing this contract, not at all. Monster trucks? So the point is, this is so standard issue. It sounds so much grander and greater than it is. Page 67 is cut and paste. The rest of it, start at 40. We go from there, get a real lawyer to overlook it, devil in the details, and let's move forward, mama.
I love everything you said. The first thing you said was just the fact that if his mom can negotiate it, then let her negotiate it. And so far, so good. But I really just have one statement. There's no wrong with Lamar's mom negotiating the deal, except for every now and then family matters, people can get emotional, right?
Yes.
Somebody talks about me on social media. Oh, my God, my family coming in. They come to people's necks. And honestly, my parents still don't like you for what you said about my outfit the other day.
Oh, me or them? Me?
You.
Me?
Me.
Who go?
Me every
What
day.
happened? What happened?
But here's what it comes down to. Agents command 3% of a deal.
Say it.
Marcellus just told y'all $40 million is the baseline. So what that means is 3% of $40 million, $1.2 million. Lamar's mom got a $1.2 million buffer to be right or wrong until they're actually taking a loss. But I think what's most important out of this is this conversation told me, Sel, that I'm the true trackhead. We are hijacking the last 30 seconds of this segment.
What we got?
Why am I the true trackhead? Because you mentioned the website Spot Rack.
Yeah, that was it.
SPOTRAC.
How they say it?
And that's where you can go find contracts of different athletes. If
Damn
you want
right.
to see how much Marcellus made, just go to SpotRack.com.
Nah, I'm pre-Spot Rack. Are you pre-Spot Rack? Look.
I always
Which?
pronounce that Spotrack.
It might be.
Until you said Spot Rack,
Is it
I
Spot
was like,
Rack?
yo,
Which
I've
one?
been mispronouncing this joint the whole time.
I don't know if I'm right, so don't go there. Whoever runs that site, it's an amazing site, but hit us up. We don't know how to say it, but my contract need to be on there too as well. Help me out in these streets. Coming up, the Clippers are in a must-win situation tonight. We'll tell you if we have faith in Paul George making it a series. That's next. Don't speak for yourself. I really don't know how to say it.
I'm like, it's
My Clippers need a win badly. Please, tonight in Game 3 right here in La La. Paul George had a team high 26 points in Game 2, but he also missed 2 free throws with under 10 seconds left. And now my Clips, please, are in the 0-2 hole for the 3rd straight series. Oh, that's good. So, Acho, you have faith in Paul George, playoff P, making it a series tonight.
I don't, but Paul George really hasn't made any of these series. He's taken the credit for making them series, but if we're being honest, Game 6, that closeout game against the Jazz, I remind you all, Terrence Mann was the leading scorer in that game with 39 points. Game 5, I remind you all, Marcus Morris had a career playoff high with 25 points. I remind you all what Marcellus told me just yesterday. Sel told me yesterday, the Clippers really come and go with Marcus Morris. So if you want to reframe the question and ask me, hey, Acho, are you confident that Marcus Morris will make it a playoff series tonight? Then I'll change my answer. But Paul George, no, sir.
I said if Marcus Morris plays like Marcus Morris, we win easily. But Paul George always shows up. Without Kawhi Leonard, 31, 9, and 6. Third player over the last 10 years to score 20-plus in all of his first 15 postseason games. You trust KD? Yeah. You trust LeBron? Yeah. Well, trust PG. He in the same category as those dudes. That's it for us.
Same category as what?
Chip City, Fox Bet Live is next. Oh, he's better than them. He's better than them.